Planetary intelligence, or PI for short, is a massive ambition to act as the shared decision intelligence engine for global climate and sustainability. We aim to empower governments, businesses, and investors to confidently deploy capital towards net zero, while continuously enhancing global knowledge on the climate transition so everyone can reuse it. The way we currently deploy sustainability capital is fundamentally broken, and it comes down to how we manage our knowledge. Trillions of dollars are moving into the physical world. This spans the entire global energy transition, from major infrastructure adaptations and retrofitting the entire built environment. But there is a massive bottleneck. All of this capital, which is supposed to completely reshape our physical world, is currently choked by static knowledge. Every single decision requires deep, independent domain expertise. And right now, getting that expertise is so painful and inefficient, it acts like a giant dam, holding back all of this crucial capital. So why does this expensive, hard-won human and organizational expertise just disappear? Imagine two different companies facing the exact same sustainability challenge. They'll both invest in expensive consultants to have the identical question answered twice. And where does that valuable answer go? Most often, it dies in a static PDF file or on a server somewhere. Or even worse, it lives entirely in the heads of senior engineers who will eventually retire. The knowledge never structurally accumulates to help the next person or the next project. It's completely siloed. To anchor this in reality, consider the UK land remediation company called John F. Hunt. They bid on roughly 1,000 RFPs a year. Out of that 1,000, imagine how many they actually win. 3, maybe 4. This is an astonishing amount of wasted effort, especially considering a single losing bid on a large infrastructure project can cost 7 or 8 figures. The expertise required to evaluate these projects is immense, but because their systems don't actually learn, that expertise resets to absolute zero almost every single time they start a new proposal. But when they get to apply that accumulated wisdom, the results are staggering. On a single project at Sugarhouse Island, the uncodified knowledge of their senior engineers, knowing exactly how to adapt to remedial design on the fly, saved a massive 5,300 truck movements. In practice, that's thousands of trucks getting off the road, saving carbon, saving time, saving money. In principle, this intervention should be repeated everywhere. But in practice, because it's locked in a few engineers' heads, it isn't. Now, you may be wondering, isn't this what generative AI or RAGs can fix? The answer is no. Standard retrieval augmented generation just retrieves text documents to feed a chatbot or AI agent. It guesses based on statistical patterns, and if the document runs out, it just starts fabricating answers. Pi is fundamentally different. It doesn't hand you an empty taxonomy map that you have to painstakingly build and label yourself. It arrives as a true sustainability domain expert, already pre-built with real climate science and regulations, making you fully auditable and grounded in reality. Pi's knowledge engine is built using a unique 2-layer substrate, otherwise referred to as an ontology. Standard enterprise AI usually gives you a basic search index over your own internal documents. Pi actually splits this into 2 distinct halves. Layer 1 is the shared reality of our natural world, the foundational global climate science, and regional regulations that every user inherits on day 1. Layer 2 is the customer's own organizational context, a codified representation of their private sites, their suppliers, their products, and their highly guarded historical data of what actually worked in the past. So a CFO or a sustainability director doesn't have to waste time mapping out global environmental frameworks. They just plug in their local context into this shared planetary engine. The system automatically merges their private data with the shared global reality, doing the heavy lifting in the background. It instantly generates actionable intelligence, allowing businesses to deploy capital towards net zero, reasoned on their own context and constraints. To grasp why this is entirely different from standard knowledge search, think about the difference between a librarian and a detective. A standard search tool is like a librarian. It only finds what's explicitly filed and perfectly labeled. If you misspell a tag, you won't find the document. Pi acts like a detective. It uses formal axioms to actively deduce regulatory consequences of a decision. If a project is in a specific region, Pi automatically knows which compliance obligations apply. Even if nobody explicitly typed those regulations into the file, it connects the dots for you. This detective work enforces an incredibly strict discipline around how claims are made. Every single fact is structurally tracked. It goes from a simple statement of intent to allocated resources to deployed tech, all the way down to independently verified results in the complex world of sustainability. The rigorous tracking is absolutely crucial. It's the difference between empty corporate greenwashing and a genuinely bankable project that will survive a harsh financial audit. And we're already seeing this engine power real-world decisions across massive organizations. You've got infrastructure giants codifying complex engineering judgment across dozens of different subsidiaries. A national government testing national delivery plans against legally binding carbon budgets. An urban lighting solution is turning agonizing 5-day proposal cycles into same-day, fully substantiated technical bids. Let's actually look at capital deployment challenge faced in the context of the 100 Sustainable Cities of Europe mandate. Now, a climate contract written by a city is usually a political document. It's full of noble ambition. But an investment committee, they need bankability. They need contracted cash flow, apportioned risk, and regulatory eligibility. The investment fund uses Pi to translate those broad political ambitions into ranked, mathematically explainable, and bankable investment pipelines. What's most important is how Pi's intelligence engine scales. It empowers the diverse personas we need to actually fund the transition to net zero. You have government policy planners figuring out municipal budgets. You have corporate engineers retaining institutional memory over decades to bid smarter. And you have asset managers deploying capital strictly into verified projects that match the profile of their de-risked, successful past investments. The wider tech world is quickly waking up to this critical piece of the AI puzzle. Analysts project the market for knowledge graphs powering AI to absolutely surge from $1.9 billion in 2026 to roughly $10 billion by 2032. Enterprise buyers realize that AI agents simply cannot act reliably in the physical world without a structured, governed data model. Large language models just aren't reliable enough when you have trillions in capital at stake, and frankly, society and the planet's future on the line. And here's the true power of a compounding shared intelligence engine. Every time a new environmental regulation or solution invested and deployed is mapped, or an engineering judgment is ratified, the platform immediately compounds. Pi's intelligence engine gets exponentially smarter with every user who logs on. The incredibly expensive, decades-long, agonizing burden of developing and mapping the world's complex sustainability data is now a codified, shared resource. Global knowledge and best practices are continuously enhanced for everyone to reuse over time. Pi's philosophy is captured in this simple mandate: encode the domain once, make it available to everyone building and investing in the real world. Let it compound over time. It's a commitment to ensure the expensive knowledge required to regenerate the planet is never built twice. We just don't have the time or excess capital to waste on reinventing the wheel, project by project, city by city. Here's a final thought to ponder. Look honestly at your own organization right now. Is your sustainability strategy genuinely building compounding intelligence that makes your next decision faster and sharper? Or is your most valuable hard-won knowledge expiring in a PDF somewhere? Join us now in a whole new way to use our knowledge to share and scale our solutions for a sustainable future.